of a moment. You know what I mean? The phone call that says your loved one is safe from harm. The doctor calls with news about those tests. My husband calling to say, we got the job. Or not. That's the one phone call that can change our whole lives. Our whole lives. Shane, my husband. Wow. We are so young in this photo. 16, high school sweethearts. I always imagined that we'd have a fairy tale life together, happily ever after. Prince Charming rides up on his white steed and saves Snow White, and all their memories together are beautiful. Those memories are what should matter, not these expensive frames that are not just things to sell to pay the bills. Then there's Rapunzel, imprisoned in a tower by a witch. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. Maybe if she was positive, things would have been different. What do you think? Positive thinking can change things, can't it? I'm not sure if positive thinking is going to help Shane and I continue to be Snow White and Prince Charming. The last fairy-sized glimmer of positive thinking. I can't give up. I am a happy person, damn it. I've always had this bold, uninhibited laugh. I never thought about it that much. Just my laugh. I don't fake it or cultivate it or make it grow by doing weird diaphragm movements. A laugh like that, you've got to be positive. My laugh. Do you want to hear it? Comedians ask if I could tour with them as their laugh person. I should have taken them up on that. Steady income from laughing. Imagine that. My laugh can be a bit of an embarrassment to some people. Our nieces and nephews don't like to sit with me at funny movies. For a while, I stifled my laugh, believing in the people who were embarrassed. I tried giggles instead of guffaws. It didn't last. It couldn't really. You know what I mean, don't you? You shouldn't change because someone makes you feel like you have to change. You should only change for yourself. The only problem is sometimes outside forces can make you change. No. No, I refuse to let that happen. I'm going to be positive, and so are you. I need you to be. I mean, we're all in this together, right? Neighbor to neighbor. If we think positive, then we can make a difference. Why does a man always get caught in a tool belt? A construction wizard, my Shane. It's his art, really. Strong, solid foundations that hold up people's hearts and their castles. Being able to do that is part of who he is. Shane is always the optimist. He was. He always was the optimist. And seeing the good in people, believing in humanity, I love him for that. The worst part about these past 6 years is that it took my warm, generous husband and changed him. Somewhere along the way, he lost the capacity to dream. I wonder what dreams cost. Can any of us afford them these days? Somewhere in my crazy, I think if you do the positive thinking with me, then we'll be in this together and things will change. I read this research study a few years back that said success is like 90% attitude. The collective positive thinking. Neighbors coming together, if we think positive, then things can change. It is not like this is some dreaded disease. Or is it? I have been there, done that. Ah. I forgot Shane took this photo. He said I looked peaceful, all wrapped up, trying to keep warm. Then he put his arms around me. phone calls back then too. Survived. And came out with a positive attitude. This is going to sound crazy to people who have never had cancer, but I'm thankful to have gone through that. It made me who I am today, who I still want to be. A fighter, an adventurer, an optimist, believer in humanity and spirit, easy to laughter, a positive thinker. Don't get me wrong, there were days when I screamed at the randomness of it. Days where Shane and I melted into each other's arms, fighting the weakness and poison and confusion. But when you have cancer, you have to fight. Shane and I against the world. There was one thing we couldn't fight, though. We have nieces and nephews, not our children. Chemo, radiation. I'm not crazy. We survived cancer. We accepted never having children. We loved each other more. So we can survive anything, right? But cancer was just 1 year out of our lives, not 7 years of being beaten down, 7 years of no work, no money, no peace, 7 years of pull yourself up by the bootstraps. I am pulling and pulling and pulling. I am. For both of us. It brought us together for a while. In the beginning, we clung to each other in the dark forest, kept telling each other it was going to be okay. But a body, a mind, a soul can only take so much. I want to stop being scared that we'll lose our home. Shane will lose his hard-working Irish foundation. I'll lose my sanity. Stop being scared that we'll never recover and everything that we've spent decades to build together will disappear in the evil witch's cauldron. I don't want to have to box up my life to sell to the highest bidder in hopes that we can stop the bank from foreclosing. I don't want to lose my husband because the only things that we seem to talk about now are the problems. After 7 years, they're pulling us apart. A relationship can survive this. I want to pull the covers over my head and hide. Disney. One of our best times ever. We were like kids again. And even in those crowds, it was just the two of us. We did the Pirates and Pals fireworks cruise with Captain Hook. Have you ever seen the fireworks from the Seven Seas Lagoon? It's magical. Seems like a lifetime ago. To a lot of people, to many of you, what we're going through now is an abstraction. Something that you hear about but don't really feel. You can turn the channel, open a new web page, shut the front door, toss the newspaper. Abstraction was to me This is when it changed, when I saw the change in him. For Shane's birthday last year, I found a glimmer of hope. The perfect Prince's coach, a 1949 Ford truck. He'd always wanted one, the connection to history and built Ford tough. Long country drives together, grabbing his fishing poles, heading down to the river. As if by a sprinkling of fairy dust, that truck appeared. Meadow green, original engine, and not a lot of money for what it was. I got the financing on a wing and a prayer. When his birthday dawned and the surprise was sprung, the excitement that I had hoped for simply wasn't there. Why? He asked the cost. That's when I knew my Prince Charming had been changed. The prince's coach for sale, hoping someone buys it before the repo guy shows up. Happy birthday.